Hello, my name is Luna, and this is the Morbid Flex. Today, we're discussing a death that still does not have a public cause, and a backlash that already has federal defendants. Not the Wikipedia recap. The internet filling official silence until people who are not even on a charging document start getting bomb threats in their inboxes. Thesis labeled opinion. When officials go quiet, the internet writes the case. In Jackson County, Mississippi, that is not a metaphor. The state autopsy is finished and sealed. The district attorney says she cannot legally fill the void, so TikTok filled it. AI filled it with fake fights, a fake toxicology report, and a deepfake of a grieving mother. Civil rights attorneys filled it with Mississippi history. Friends lawyers filled it with a give, send, go. Nobody has been charged with killing 18-year-old Nolan Wells. 3 people in California, Ohio, and Illinois have been charged with threatening a judge, witnesses, and deputies over a story they were not in. Official silence is not automatically a cover-up. Viral certainty is not a verdict. People got hurt anyway. His name is Nolan Xavier Wells. 18, black, Ocean Springs, Mississippi Gulf Coast, just east of Biloxi. Football at Ocean Springs High. Wide receiver at Southwest Mississippi Community College. Coaches called him humble. He would have turned 19 on August 19, 2026. He got a church full of gold balloons shaped like a 1 and a 9, and a cake his parents should never have had to blow out. July 4th, boats leave a private dock a little before 10. Marine resources data puts them at Horn Island just after 11. Uninhabited Barrier Island, federal parkland, packed for the holiday. One attorney later said on the order of 2,000 people. This was not 4 kids alone on a sandbar. Sheriff John Ledbetter's office says Nolan was last seen around 3 p.m. Near 4, a teen on the boat calls sea tow. Bilge pump dead, taking on water at the west tip. Caller says about 7 people on board. Everyone on board okay. GPS. The boat leaves around 4:30. Nolan Wells is not on it. That night, his mother, Christine Wells Wonsley, gets a call around 11 from Warren Hudson, one of the friends. Friends' attorneys say Hudson also called the Coast Guard. She checks Life 360. She checks Snapchat. The pins do not match. She reports him missing. Parents meet a deputy in a McDonald's parking lot. July 5th is a search. July 6th, about 8:45 in the morning, a U.S. Park Service ranger finds a body at the northwestern tip of the island. Family to the Lake Mars boat launch. Coroner Bruce Lind, Sheriff Ledbetter. By afternoon, Christine confirms on Facebook that it is her son. That same afternoon, they hire Ben Crump. This show is not going to invent a cause of death. The sheriff said, in those first days, deputies did not have reason at that time to suspect foul play. He also said the investigation was open. The family called that premature. The state's autopsy happened July 7th. Those findings, including toxicology, were later reported complete, sent to District Attorney Angel Myers McIlrath, and locked for a grand jury. As of August 27, 2026, the public has not seen them. The family flew the body to Washington. Colin Kaepernick's Know Your Rights camp paid for a second exam. Dr. Roger Mitchell examined Nolan on July 10th. Crump announced it July 22nd at the NAACP convention, cause and manner undetermined, pending investigation. Mitchell could not inspect lungs and stomach the way a first autopsy can, organs already removed, which he noted is normal. Neck structures were not with the body, so he wrote he could not rule out neck injury. No skin lacerations, no skull fracture. A 12 by 8-inch area of red discoloration in deep tissue at the back of the head, cause unclear. He did not know if Nolan was conscious or unconscious, forced or unforced when he went into the water. He could not rule out non-accidental factors. He also could not conclude Nolan had been killed. That is the entire public medical file, undetermined, sealed. Do not let anyone sell you a different ending with a PDF they made in Canva. Into that gap walk 2 sermons. 1, a black football player goes out with white friends on a Mississippi holiday. The white friends come back. He does not. Crump said the family distrusted that local law enforcement would fairly investigate where young white students may be looked at as having some culpability. Al Sharpton in August, Black boy goes out with 3 white kids. 3 white kids come back. Blurred story. The Congressional Black Caucus asked D.O.J. for a federal review. Pastor Jamal Bryant invoked Medgar Evers and Emmett Till. Those names are history. They are not a coroner's report. The family has said drowning does not sound like their son. Christine's question has not changed. What happened to Nolan? The other sermon, Horn Island's West End, has a reputation. Currents. The coroner has told reporters his office recovers drowning victims off these islands. Friends publicly named in coverage. Warren Hudson, Jax Pittelow, Morgan Seymour, through lawyers, say the boat was sinking. Nolan chose to stay and catch a later ride, and they called his mother and the Coast Guard. The sheriff's early understanding matched he chose to stay. Christine and Elmore Wonsley have said they taught their son not to leave the group. Crump has said accounts of a girl on the island do not match. Prosecutors have not charged those friends in the death, so this show is not going to. CNN also noted at least one other black friend was on the trip. The photograph that broke the internet is a real photo of a real day. It is not a charging document. Now the part we came for. With almost no official facts to chew, the internet counterfeited some. A pool party picture of Nolan went viral as July 4th. Friends later said it was June 27th. A shoreline video got treated as Nolan in a fight, screaming for his phone. Crump repeated that ID. Friend Trayston Shepard went on Good Morning America and said that was his voice, and he did not even think Nolan was in the frame. Local papers documented beach fight clips where the Nolan does not look like Nolan. Towboat photos got enhanced until a hull that should have a Mississippi number read Yamaha. The boat in the data was a Triton. Christine begged people to report a TikTok deepfake of her own face. Conspiracy voiceover, skip the funeral claim, fake GoFundMe. She had to post over and over which fundraiser was real. Then the masterpiece, a toxicology report that was not a toxicology report. Public Safety Commissioner Sean Tyndall, early August. The purported tox report circulating on social media is fraudulent. Nolan's family, friends, and most importantly, Nolan himself deserve better. Fraudsters, AI, and social media are a recipe for disaster. The real tox is with the D.A. If you saw it on Instagram, you saw a prop. Christine is a family nurse practitioner. People once starred her and her clinic while she was on leave to bury her child. Elmore Wonsley said you cannot grieve when strangers attack your wife's job and character. Then an anonymous complaint hit the Mississippi Board of Nursing. Crump called it a warning shot. The board closed it, unfounded. Christine posted that she loves her job and her patients. Then the only question that still matters: what happened to Nolan? The friend's blast radius is ugly in a different direction. Hudson's family said he got thousands of death threats and skipped the memorial. His mother, Chancery Judge Ashley Cole, deactivated Facebook after threats court papers later tied to a bomb at her office. Attorneys say Hudson, Pittelow, and Seymour became pariahs in their own town, refused service. Some unable to go back to school, doxed. Another young man whose family says he only helped tow got accused of murder online. A Give-Send-Go started by Benjamin Hudson had raised more than $125,000 by August 4th for legal defense. USA Today headlined that campaign around race baiting. The family GoFundMe had cleared $800,000, 2 jars of internet money, still no cause of death. And then the backlash grew its own rap sheet. Joseph Alfredo Vasquez Dumars, 27, Sacramento. Federal case. Alleged Facebook messages to Judge Cole about a package that would blow you away. Booked in Sacramento, no bail. Michelle Francine Edwards, 41, Ohio. Alleged July 23rd, more than 20 calls in 8 minutes to a county clerk. The clock is ticking, then bomb threat calls to the Jackson County Sheriff's Office. Held without bond. Edward James Porter, Illinois. Charged July 31st. Affidavit. Calls threatening to kill people, including members of a witness's family, telling one he would cut them up and put them in a suitcase. The Associated Press says none of the 3 appear to know Nolan, the family, or the boating group. California, Ohio, Illinois. That is the distance between Horn Island and a comment section that decided it had a murderer. August 18th, D. A. McIlrath tries again to explain the quiet. She understands a void is perceived when some people talk and prosecutors do not. Filling it, she said, would only get the pressure off her, and Nolan deserves better. She will take a thorough investigation to a grand jury, which, she has also said, is how Jackson County handles unnatural deaths and is not itself proof of a crime. August 19th would have been 19, a virtual vigil. That night, Greater St. John AME. In Biloxi, Jamal Bryant, Ben Crump, Spike Lee, a cake, jerseys under the pulpit, happy birthday in a room that should have been a restaurant. 2 days later, attorneys for the three friends send Sharpton a 19-page demand letter. They say he implied murder and hiding a phone. Sharpton says he welcomes the lawsuit. He has said he wants to depose those young men. As of today, that is a letter, not a reported filed complaint. The information war is now a civil war. The criminal file on the death is still a blank caption. I am not going to tell you Nolan Wells drowned. I am not going to tell you he was murdered. I do not have a right to, and neither does the account that stitched his face onto a beach fight. A sealed autopsy created a market, and the market sold certainty. Some of it dressed itself in civil rights. Some dressed itself in just asking questions. Some of it was a fake lab report. All of it landed on a nurse practitioner's license, a judge's children, 3 families who have not been charged with killing anyone, and a mother who is still only asking what happened. If your theory required a deepfake, you were never investigating. You were cosplaying justice on a dead teenager's name. If you want this case followed without the Photoshop, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and the next time a Leak Talks report hits your feed, close the app. This is the Morbid Flex.